golden rule, never broken!
Good morning. Day 221 of rowing in the morning. And this morning I did abs and I didn't record it, but I did some like total body work because the gym is going to be under construction today. Georgie got the Olympic platform ready to go. So he's going to take care of that after he, excuse me, starts the smoker so we can get those ribs smoked. I want to learn how to use our smoker. And when I mentioned it, Georgie seemed to get that guy like light in his eye, and he was like, "Oh yeah, awesome! I will get up and I will smoke the ribs." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I think it takes them about what 6 to 8 hours, and it's 6:13 right now. So I got up. I got up at 3 this morning instead of 2. I slept in, but we did get to bed a little late. I got to bed around 9:30. So, I mean, I still didn't really get a whole bunch of sleep, but I did sleep in. So it took me a little bit of time to do what I was doing in the garage and get everything set up. And today, because I did the most of my meal prep last week, but we bought 2 slabs of ribs, big ones. And our smoker isn't that big, and we only have one layer. So definitely don't have enough time to smoke both of them. But Georgie's going to see if he got like a rib rack that holds the ribs like vertical. So he's going to we're going to cut them and then put them out on the grill to see if they can all fit. Cause it'd be nice. If not, I'll freeze the other ones and we'll smoke them next week or the week after that or something like that. I bought some more beef shank and some ground beef to kind of like buck up our meal prep for this week, kind of see if it can ride out until not until like the 18th, but the week after that, because we have a pretty busy weekend coming up next week and the week after that too. Not busy, just parties and stuff like that. So I like to hang out instead of just spending time in the kitchen all fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Today, I'm also going to set up my supplements. So I know a lot of people, excuse me, I have an itch. A lot of people on carnivore, I don't know like what kind of supplementation they take. Like I look at it and a lot of the supplements I take, I guess, aren't carnivore. But then again, I can say that I'm like not 100% strict carnivore. Obviously, I put chocolate, I use cocoa and a lot of stuff. and so there's supplements I like to take, and I'll do like a little video because I got lazy with prepping them. And also all my little containers, like one of them broke and I got pissed that I broke it. So then I threw them all away, which is, very mature and totally level headed. So I finally bought some new smaller containers to prep up our supplements. So when I get up in the morning, instead of opening up 20 bags and unscrewing like 10 containers of powders and shit, I can put all measured doses in these little containers. And then in the morning, so I'm not dropping shit and knocking shit over and spilling shit, which I did 2 days ago. And this morning I didn't do my supplements at all because I'm like, I just don't feel like messing with shit. Makes it so much easier, and it saves up it's like 20 minutes of just doling out all the extra crap that we take in the morning. And then I actually went on Google to see maybe I should be spacing some of these supplements out instead of just taking them all at once, and then it's counterproductive. So that's another thing I have to. There's only one thing that I take that it's suggested for me to take it before bed, and that was the psyllium husk. And take that before bed because that's just going to absorb all the other stuff that you're taking, and it's just going to make you pass it out. So that's what I'll do. So that's one less thing I have to do, because the psyllium husk is pretty easy. You just open up. So with me, anything that comes in a pill form, I either crush it, or if it's in one of those in capsules, I'll open them up and I'll put them directly into my, so I don't take pills. Like my calcium pills, because I was too lazy to actually crush them up with the martyr. I've been chewing them. It's pretty gross, but I do it. I don't care. I'll bite. I'll also bite the fish oil pill too. It's just so I'm guaranteed to get the nutrients from it. But yeah, so I'll do a little video of that later this morning. I mean, I like doing these videos. They're fun, but they are time consuming. And like today, I just don't really feel like spending all day in the kitchen. That's kind of like why I tried to do that huge meal prep last week. But like looking at our stores of what we have frozen, and we went to Costco, and I was like, well, since we're braving Costco on the weekend, because usually we'll go Friday night. I was like, since we're braving it on a Saturday, it was insane. Everywhere was insane. I was like we went to Walmart too because I had to get cat litter, and I was like everywhere. And I was like, is it like a holiday? Like what's going on? And I guess it's back to school. So that's another thing that kind of sucks with our traffic is like the fucking school buses. They're so irritating. But I can relate because I rode a school bus. So whatever. I mean, kids got to go to get to and from school safely. So cool on that. But I can't believe how fast this summer went. I can't believe how fast this year is going by. It's insane. So, I mean, a lot of good things are happening for sure, you know, getting out there, meeting people and whatnot. But still, it went by really fast. Excuse me. I was trying to get better at talking too. It's not really doing too well. Sorry about that. But yeah, black coffee, staying strong. I was looking, I might try this. There's an egg yolk cream that you can make. I might try it. And I mean, I guess it would be most beneficial in iced coffee. It's just pretty much egg yolks, like a little bit of vanilla. And, you know, if you are modified, modified carnivore, keto, whatever, a sweetener. So I think as a treat today, I might try that and see how that makes me feel. If I like it. I've been substituting a lot of my fat with egg yolk, which is way more beneficial as far as bodybuilding, muscle retention, all that stuff. So I guess between one or the other, and also egg yolks, I mean, eggs are way cheaper than raw, heavy whipping cream, which I love. And I mean, like, I was talking to George about it, and I was like, you know, after this month, if I don't really see any drastic improvement, but I already said my legs and my knees aren't as swollen, but that could also be from having the carbo and sugar load that I do when I usually meal prep as well. So I'm not being 100% honest, I guess, that I don't think it's just all the heavy whipping cream, or also maybe not drinking a whole cup a day. Because like I said, it's expensive. So maybe cut back, maybe just have 2 tablespoons in, you know, one of your 4 cups of coffee. Because I really do not need to drink more than 4 cups of coffee. I need to stick with my, you know, I don't need to drink more than that. The 2 pots, I miss it. I miss the steady. I mean, I really do miss the steady, like, energy. That is the one thing that I have noticed since I cut out with the cream is that my energy levels have definitely like nosedived. They just went to the ground. So that's pretty crazy. But being that I started upping up the fat in my meals, putting the egg yolk in my meals, and you know, that seems to be helping a lot more. But I just don't understand why I am so hungry. I have never been this hungry since I started carnivore. And I noticed since I took out the whipping cream. So I guess my body really was used to having those extra calories and fat. I guess it was really like utilizing that fat for energy. So I have to still kind of tweak it and see what I can do as far as getting like back on that level. Because this week, regardless of how tired I feel or how much it's raining, we're hitting the gym every day. We got the new platform going in every morning. We're going to be in there. There's no excuse. It's in the fucking garage. There's no excuse. I tell you what, when I get home from work this past 2 weeks, I was dog ass tired. I mean, it could be getting up 201 consecutive days in the morning rowing. And then when we were on vacation, I did get up and do like I brought a red rubber band because the gyms at the hotels were not open at 2 o'clock, and I'm crazy. So I brought a red rubber band. I did some banded work, and I walked the stairs. So I actually did like, you know, which is nice at hotels. And I used to do this back when I would travel in my 20s. Is I would go in the stairwell and I would walk the stairs like 10 times or whatever. So I did do that. So at least I consistently have done something in the morning. So, I mean, that could be why I'm tired and dropping shit. But I've been getting up for years at this time. And it's kind of like hard to break myself out of that habit. So maybe next year will be sleep maxing, maybe. I'm not sure, but I see the cat chewing on something. I don't know what the fuck he's chewing on. That might be a vet visit later. Who knows? Because these guys are. What are you eating? Hold on. I don't have the little robotic arm. Do you see that? Go see what he's doing. What are you eating? That's plastic. Where did you get that? Let's say hi. Oh shit! Let me go throw this away. They're a menace. So I have 5 cats, and I almost got 6. I saw a friend of mine from my job that I had like years ago. Her son is allergic to cats, and the cat's name was Pickles, and he was black and white, and he was super cute. And I was like, Georgie, do you want to take Pickles? And he's like, no. Excuse me, no. We have 5 cats. We do not need 6. And I was like, all right. He's like, we just got rid of the ducks. So at one point, I came home with a duck, one. And it was right when we moved into our house. And we live in an R2. So we're allowed to have like backyard chickens. And there was a stipulation for waterfowl, but we had a duck. And we kept her, she was a baby. Oh my God, like she must have just hatched. And at the time I was commuting by bike. And I was riding home from work. And a little duckling ran out right in front of me. I stopped on my bike and she ran in the road. And luckily there was no traffic. So I grabbed her and she's like crying and moving around in my hand. So I walked 4 miles to our house and I got home and I called George. I'm like, hey, and I sent him pictures like, hey, I got a little duckling. I put her in the tub and she was splashing in the water. So at that time, I was really into entomophagy, which is the art of eating bugs. And I know that's wild, but let me explain. I got really, really into it. I don't know. It came up on social media, and this was like back in 2015. And I was like, oh, well, what an awesome concept. If you raise your own bugs for protein, then you're pretty much self-sufficient. So I was like, all right. So I was interested in this. And I was like, oh, cool. And it showed like how to make like a little mealworm farm. It was like so I got like a little Tupperware thing with drawers in it. And George cut out the bottoms and put screens in it so we could put the bedding and then the worms and all that. So I got that going and I was like really into it. I was like researching it. And at the time we were at the apartment. This was like right before we moved into the house. So at the apartment, I had the mealworms. But then when we moved into the house, I did crickets. And crickets was fun, but what happened was I didn't introduce a new colony. So my colony wound up inbreeding to the point where they were sterile because then they were laying eggs, but they weren't hatching. So I guess what it is, every 3 generations, you have to add in a new colony or they'll be sterile and then they won't make new babies. And that's kind of like what happened. So I was like really into that. I was cooking with my mealworms and crickets. I was actually so invested in it that I was bringing it in my meal prep to work. But the issue, and the mealworms didn't really have a taste. They were just a crunchy texture or soggy, but they were kind of crunchy and they're small. So they're super duper small. So it was really, it was basically like a sprout. The crickets, on the other hand, I was too lazy to take the legs and the antennas off. So those used to get stuck in my teeth. And so that wasn't very enjoyable. And also they had more of like a seafood, because they are related more to like shrimp and stuff. They had more of like a seafood taste to them. I kind of just got out of doing that because it seemed like it was a lot more work than I expected it to be. And to get enough protein for my body weight, it was just not sustainable. I would have to do like a whole room in order to get enough bugs to make the protein that my body needed. So it was a fun experiment. I was documenting it all on social media. I was super into it. And I mean, I even got as far as trying to raise hornworms, and I was going to do hornworms. They all died. They did cocoon and turn into moths, but the container I had them in, which it was recommended, ripped all of their wings. So that was a nightmare. And then I had waxworms. And what's cool about waxworms? They eat the beeswax. They'll eat the cone, and then they turn into moths. But they're supposed to be really tasty. So I was like, oh, I'll try those. So I had them in bran with honey. That was like kind of like their substrate. It took forever, and it's just like 3 out of the ones I got. So like, yeah, never mind. So yeah, it was a whole disaster. But at the time when I got the duckling, it came in handy that I had these mealworms and crickets. I had something to feed her. So, I was giving her like little mealworms in the water, and I cut up some lettuce and she was eating it. And I wrote George and I was like, hey, I got a little duckling. Do you want to drop her off at the SPCA, or do you want to keep her? So he came home with duckling food. He went to the feed store and got some duckling food. So we kept her, and, it was fun when she was a baby because we could keep her in the house. She's teeny tiny. The poop is really small. And we were able to keep her in a container pretty much throughout the day. And at that time, I wasn't working 10-hour days. I was only working 8-hour days. So, and I got to work really early. So I got home around like 3. I mean, it's a lot earlier than we do now, but I wasn't as tired. I was also younger too. So I was able to spend more time with her. But when she started to get big, we had to go put her out in the yard. I felt bad because she was by herself. And I know ducks have to have like a companion, a friend. So we found this insane lady that had free ducks in a dilapidated mansion in Tarpon Springs. I mean, it was insane. Like some wealthy, because I worked for a housekeeping company, and some wealthy people are fucking crazy. And it's like, wow, like you are so fortunate and so, I guess, blessed, but you just don't fucking appreciate it. There's no appreciation. I guess that's the word I'm saying, but no. I don't know. Maybe this mansion was handed down to her, because what I've noticed, especially people that I know, that when they are given something, they do not appreciate it. And they feel like you're a piece of shit because you don't have whatever they got given to them. And it's wild to me. It's like super wild. So whatever. I don't want to get into it too much, but I was floored. And these are adults too. Now I was just floored. I was like, I mean, how could you not appreciate this? But then again, it was given to you. You never did without. You never had to give plasma to put gas in your car. Like yours truly over here. And that's from, making some bad decisions when I was younger. I'm glad I grew out of it, but now I know to appreciate what I have. Anyways, back to the duck. We got 2 male ducks, which was a big mistake with 1 female. But anyway, she wound up laying a bunch of eggs and only one of them hatched. So I got another Drake. So now I have 3 boys and 1 girl. And I was like, I need other females for my guys because she can't handle all that shit. So a friend of mine who's a bird rescuer gave me another female. She wound up laying eggs and 5 of them hatched. So at one point we had, I think, 8 ducks. And because the ones that hatched, I couldn't get rid of them. And we had 9 at one point. And this is crazy. So this lady gave me, it was an older baby duck. Like he was not like a little tiny yellow duck. He started to get his color and stuff, but he was like kind of messed up. So I healed him. I was able to get him back out in the yard, and I kept him separated from the other ducks because he was messed up. Well, anyways, they wound up getting over the fence, and it wasn't good. So that was a very sad lesson learned. But I mean, that little guy, I don't think he would have made it regardless. But that I didn't know that ducks were like that. I mean, you learn so much about things. So anyways, back to her. So at one point, we did have 8 ducks. That was a little much. I think like 5 of them flew away. I've watched them fly away. I know and they never came back. But the thing with the last 3 flew away, but they kept coming back, or they kept hanging out in the front yard. So like my dickhead neighbor, said something about it. So I had George cut their wings, and that was we've had ducks for like almost 10 years. Never had any problems. The one weekend where I go on vacation, this is going back to rowing every morning. The one weekend that we're not here and I'm not up at 2:00 in the morning rowing for 2 days straight, the coyotes took advantage of that and they killed all 3 of my ducks. And they did it so ritualistically that I thought that somebody came and actually like killed my ducks in some sort of crazy witchcraft thing. So yeah. So no to 6 cats is pretty much. Georgie is now putting his foot down with all the fucking animals I want to get. So thank you, George. Appreciate that. And speaking of, he should be getting up soon to start getting the bull grill ready. I'm excited. I'll show videos of that too, because I mean, we have it and we were using it for quite a bit, and then we just kind of got lazy with it. So trying to be more on point, more adventurous with our meat so that we stay more consistent, which I mean, I am consistent. It's just when I fly off, and I can see it on the calendar when it's going to be like, all right, dude, this is it. And that's what I'm thinking like right now, because I'm so hungry and I'm so tired. I think by next week I should be starting my period. So that is definitely why I'm probably feeling the way how I'm feeling right now. It's just dropping the fat. My hormones are shifting and I'm just going crazy right now. But anyways, I'll do a little, maybe a YouTube short or whatnot of my supplements. Please, anybody comment on anything. I mean, I'm so open. I'm not embarrassed. I like to engage for sure. I'm finding myself engaging more on YouTube than I am on like Instagram and Facebook now. So a lot of my friends that I was like sending a lot of memes to, they're like, "What happened to you?" Like I used to lambast them. Also, my algorithm switched. My algorithm now is gorillas having sex. Like I don't know how that happened. My algorithm is so weird. Like at one point, it was right where it was supposed to be, which was Henry Rollins and guys lifting weights. And then it turned into women breastfeeding, which was the weirdest ever. It was like women breastfeeding. And I'm like, how is this okay? Like, and I have to be careful. I have to be so careful if I ever open my phone up in public. And it's like on Instagram. Facebook is not that bad. Facebook is literally just ads now. I don't see anything my friends post. It's all advertisements. I can't wait till MySpace comes back. I loved MySpace. So anyways, on Instagram though, if I open it, it's either gorillas having sex or it's somebody's ass shaking. It's a woman's ass and a G-string shaking wildly. So then I look like a full-on rabid lesbian. So I have to be. I don't know where that came from, but there it is. I was like, okay, well, this is not my interests. So I'm trying to get my algorithm back to what it was with the gorillas. I was like, because I like gorillas. Also, I mean, I like primates. I like chimpanzees, and I like gorillas. My name on Instagram is Murder Chimp. Werewolf is like my Facebook. Actually, I have a YouTube channel called Murder Chimp, but this channel is premium. It's connected to my YouTube music, so I just decided to continue my content on this channel. But anyways, yeah. So it's like at first it was just like gorillas being gorillas. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then it was like I have like one video of that, and I was like, all right, well, that's great. And just scroll on by it. Then it's like every time I open it, it's a different video, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? Have to like put not interested in it or something and try to get my algorithm back to how it was. I miss back in early 2015, like when Instagram was pure and didn't have advertisements and dumb shit like that. I was following Ghetto Fails, which was hilarious, and they disappeared. But that shit was fucking hilarious. There was Ghetto Fails, there was Ghetto Fights, that was also very funny. That was gone. Um, and there was I Heart 4 and 6, and one was forensics, and it was insane. And George got pissed off at me because I was like addicted to it. Like he's like, you need to get off that. That's fucking you up. So the first video I saw was a man fell into a wood chipper. He was still alive, but it was a shock. So they brought him they showed the machine in the hospital and his body hanging out of it. And, they're like, he's still alive. He's still alive, but he was drained. He was white, drained of blood. And then they like got him out and then they showed like his torso was okay, but then the rest of his body was just like mangled. Oh, it was so gross. And like there was another one where like uh it was kind of sad. It was like a baby got injured and they had to repair her for a burial and it was like really messed up. So I was like really into mortuary science when I was in middle school. I just didn't want to go through the actual college and schooling for it, so I just never pursued it. I'm not a studious person at all. As you can, I mean, I am not studious one bit. And the most education I got out of high school was culinary school, and I got kicked out pretty much in the baking program, which baking was what I wanted to be in. But me and the chef did not get along, and I should have known that maybe culinary wasn't like really the thing for me. I like cooking, but I don't like dealing with dipshits. And pretty much everybody in my class was a dipshit or a felon or both. Because there was a school and people who were special also. So what it was a program for felons and for people who had a hard time learning normal things. I can't say it right. I don't want to like come out and say the hard R word, but they were. And I should have realized I'd be working with those or felons in the kitchen. And that was pretty much true. And also, every chef I worked with, except for the one in North Carolina, I had a problem with. So from what the gay baker told me, that's what I called him. He was the gay baker. All the guys, all the best cake decorators I worked with were men, and they were all gay, which is fine. I mean, they're amazing. They're artists, they're artisans, they're hilarious, they know what's up. Best makeup artists, best hairdressers, best seamsters. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyways, back to where I'm getting at. So after I told him, because we even though we didn't work at the bakery together, I'm still friends with him. So I was telling him about the issue I had with the last chef, and he's like, "Do you think that maybe the issue is you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I know it is 110% me. And I'm trying so hard now because I'm not in my 20s to not make it be that I am the problem. So I think I have matured and I'm doing much better. But yes, I should have known then what I know now. But anyways, being consistent, staying on track. I might try that egg yolk creamer today just to give it a try and see. A little, treat for the end of the week to, say good job to me, But anyways, you guys all have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.